Bienvenidos, bienvenidas, bienvenidas sean a una entrevista más aquí en Día de Perros. Tenemos un invitado muy especial, dado el contexto que ya les habíamos contado en programas anteriores, que Ambulante, la gira de documentales, está... Más bien, el día de hoy, ayer empezó, el día de ayer jueves, pero el día de hoy empiezan ya las proyecciones como tal. Y uno de esos documentales que vamos a poder ver durante toda la gira, no nada más aquí en la Ciudad de México, sino alrededor del país, es un documental de una de las bandas canadienses más importantes de los últimos, ¿qué será? ¿20 años? Yo creo que sí. Broken Social Scene. Y aquí tenemos a uno de los integrantes fundadores, Kevin Drew. Kevin, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Hey man, I was just telling our audience that you're coming here because you're playing an acoustic set with I don't know if of Broken Social
Yep.
Scene songs.
Yep.
I don't know if Brendan is here. But
Evan Cranley and Andrew Whiteman will be here. Yep, from the band. Yep.
Okay. And
Andrew speaks Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
Don't worry. Everything is cool.
Dyslexic, ADHD.
And
ADHD late diagnosis is going wild in Canada. Is that a big thing here? Like in your 50s?
not yet, not here,
You'll
not here
see.
yet. But we have
lot of
other
freaks.
diseases like diabetes, maybe.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
ADHD just means you can't focus.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Well, so I was telling our audience that you're gonna be at the projection of the new documentary of Broken Social Scene. Do you remember when the idea of a documentary started?
Quite a long time ago, actually, because of our director, Steven Chung. He followed us around with a camera and just started appearing while we were gathering songs and building this band. He always wanted to be a part of something, and he just kind of fell into our community. Another band, Do Make Say Think. He spent a lot of time with us. So we happened to capture the beginning, and then when we were making this record, You've Forgotten in People.
It's a doggy. Don't worry.
Okay.
They can. Well, it's okay if we.
I just want to
if
make
we
sure
hear
the
dogs.
dog was okay.
I think it's just angry that he's not here with you.
I know. I felt like he was calling my name. Like, let's hang
Like
out.
Kevin. Where are you?
So I think he proceeded to spend about 6-7 years with us, and then he put together his first cut of the doc, and he worked with some great people, and it just didn't land. It didn't land with the band. Brendan didn't want it to come out, and I believe the quote that we told him is, "This won't see the light of day."
Oh wow.
And then off.
Was there a reason? Why didn't you like it? What do you guys?
There's a great quote from a gentleman, Jeffrey Remedios. It was not no, it was not now. It just didn't seem right at the time. We were in a different period from just all the success. We had just done the whirlwind of the band for 4 years, and I don't think we felt right to tell the story. Either way, what he did was he came back and called me about, I think in 2020.
I think I heard this story from the director in an interview.
Oh, okay, great. And then
you were in a bathtub.
I was in London. It was COVID, but I still needed to get over there. And I just told him, yeah, you want to support your friends. You want to support people who are trying to create a dream. And he is such a wonderful cinematographer. He's worked on set, but he never directed. And he just wanted to finish what he started. And it sort of was sold to us as one way, and then this way, and then that way. And we had a lot of great people get involved. And it went through different variations, but it kind of landed where it started, as most things do when you get a big team of people together.
How would you describe the documentary? Because there's a lot of ways in which you can tell a story in a documentary, right? There's like, for example, Searching for Sugar Man, or there's, for example, lineal story like, I don't know, or maybe the Rock and Roll Swindle, right? The Sex Pistols documentary, or maybe there's Bob Marley documentary. I don't know. How would you describe this documentary?
It's about a community that a group of friends that put together something that happened, and it happened at a time right as everything changed. There's no cell phones in this documentary. There's still a city supporting arts. There was a support group that very much vanished over the following years when capitalism really took over, social media took over, disconnection took over. I didn't know what we were going to see, but it's about Steven coming to terms with sort of this footage that he created, where he was in his life, being a part of this band, being a Jamaican Chinese immigrant, coming into this scene of these colonial white, empath kids who were like, let's make music. And I think what I took from it when I removed myself, because I saw it a couple of times, was there was just this power to friendship and power to connection. And that's what I would say his greatest strength was in the film, in the telling of this film. And we actually told it through, which we all were really into, through Steven, through the perspective of him. It's not sort of, he interviews us, but it's kind of seen through his lens of the footage he captured. Yeah.
Like he discovering the band and entering your world and what you did throughout the years, I bet.
It's the beginning.
Okay.
There's another great line, there's nothing like a beginning. He captures the beginning, and he trails a little bit into when we start, but it's mainly the beginning of how this band started, and then watching You Forgot It in People, the record that he was sort of filming us do, watching that take off.
Would you, I also heard you say that Broken Social Scene started as a way to connect with people, right? As a way to, like you said, like friends getting together and just making music.
Yeah.
And you saying that the documentary reflects that.
Yeah.
I bet that it's needed right now, I think. Like, we're so disconnected from the world, always watching a screen, always work, we watch a screen. When we are at home, we're watching our phones or we're watching television. Work also. There's a lot of screens, and I think this kind of like, I don't know, like the documentary festival in which you're projecting this is, I don't know, a way everything connects in a sense. So I wanted to ask you also about those beginnings of Broken Social Scene. What can you remember about them? Like, it's 2000s?
Yeah, late 90s, 2000s.
And what was the context? Like, what was it like in Canada? What do you think has changed throughout the years?
It's gone back to what it was. The major label system ran the show, and you couldn't really get outside of Canada, let alone your own city. And the internet helped us, and just the community itself, the bands that were coming out of Toronto helped us, and there were nights that were getting put on in independent venues that helped us a lot. And then there were people who were working in the mainstream major label system that also helped us, because they wanted to see something like this come together, because we had a lot of members who had given it a few tries in trying to get records out there. We had members who were fresh. We had members who were up and coming. And everyone sort of had their own band, their own solo career going. So all these things kind of melded together, where we didn't really want to be a part of anything except our own sort of system. And I think we were challenging each other in a very healthy, competitive way to get out from underneath what was holding us back. At that time, if you look at the music scene in general, it was kind of in a weird spot of, if you were very passionate about music, you could argue mundane. But the indie section, all the independents, and whether they were distributed by majors and all that stuff, but that was where the juice of what was building so many people's identities, and record stores were thriving, because you couldn't find it on modern radio, what you were looking for to express how you felt. Whereas today's day and age, that's the dominant factor of what music is. So I think we just decided that we would try, all of us within our own bands, to see if we could get outside and get into America and get into Europe and get into Mexico, like if it was actually possible. And it was the people.
Do you remember the making behind the first record?
I do. The first record was in my basement with Brendan Canning. And then we brought, it was just an ambient record, and we brought in people that inevitably, Brendan and I became friends with each other's social circles, and that's how we started going in the basement, and then finding David Neufeld to produce You Forgot It in People. And in that first record, it was everything. It was joy, it was frustration, there was a huge need. A lot of us were past 25, so those early days of trying to make it didn't happen, so was it going to happen? But I do believe that the musical aspect and the absolute talent from all these people involved, when we put ourselves together, we did have chemistry. and it's something you ask for in life and you're constantly searching for, or you're going to therapy for, or you believe in religion and gods and you need to find something to help you find chemistry. Well, it happened with us.
And like when you made records with the Broken Social Scene versus when you make records with yourself, like
Yeah.
as a solo artist,
Yeah.
what do you find different when writing a song? I mean, obviously there's a lot of people opinions, but
That's it.
Is
That's
that
what it comes down to. Yeah, if you're, solo's great because you don't have to.
Answer to anyone.
I think we all wish our solo careers outside of Feist and like Metric, and I would love it if it took off the way Social Scene did, but it didn't. Right. And the compromise that you get yourself into also comes with compassion towards really understanding that there's other people that hear things way differently than you that makes that chemistry happen.
Have you ever wondered, for example, why did the Metric and Feist did land? And I don't know, you said like your music maybe didn't land it as that much.
I don't wonder. I know why. I mean, Leslie is just a force, and her music is a force, and she's an exceptional artist. And I wouldn't see how she did not take off the way that she did, because she just had such great power behind her and great power inside of herself. I mean, that is something that couldn't be stopped inside of her music. In Metric, again, they worked their asses off, as did Leslie. They worked a lot harder too. I mean, their music is no, we didn't work to the extent we did not work to the extent that both those bands did.
Oh wow.
They really gave up a chunk of themselves to get out there and push what they did, and I saw it firsthand. But also, I think their music it's just so much more appealing to a broader audience. And not to say ours isn't, but we, I don't know. I don't think it's my place to describe why we're different. I just think this is where we're at. And all the success that happened with everyone, it works for everyone. Everyone's wins become everyone's wins. And when they don't, and if you find some sort of sentiment or jealousy, which happens at times, obviously, when you see people, then you got to go check yourself. You got to go back to the mirror and question what it is that makes you motivate yourself to be happy for others. And
I bet that same question can be another question can be asked in that context, which is, why are you making music, right? Like, why did you first grab the guitar or a synth and started making music? Is it because you wanted to be famous? No. Maybe broadly, I don't know, you have broad appeal in the music scene. Do you know the answer to that question in case of your music?
I think it's just a way of finding identity. That's how I kind of figured out who and what I was, is through what I listened to, what I liked, who I played with. I didn't know that at this part of my life I'd be figuring out that I am 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that's because I dream of music. And whenever I'm somewhere or I'm with people or I'm in relationships, and I've had a few, I never fully put my feet into both doors because I don't know how. It's not in my makeup to do so. And of course, that looks, depending on who's looking at it, maybe shameful or wrong, but it's really just coming to the light for me in terms of returning back to this band and continue on, is that there's something inside of making music with these people that, besides all the
chit and the chatter,
and
the
just
japping,
the administrative aspect to trying to survive within today's world and today's noise and all that, but there's something that's very honest about it and very truthful about it that makes me reflect upon all that I did and understand it was for something. And I think as a music lover and as a music listener, as I can see all of you are, you find your identity in what you listen to. Totally. You find your friends in what you listen to. You find your work.
Totally.
And in a church of, a bunch of people in a room listening to something that you all collectively love, nothing beats that. And in these times of where we're at right now, we have to remember that. And I think live music is doing really well because of that. And when we have these conversations about AI, which we can have or which we don't have to have, we can pivot from, you're seeing people buying tickets more and more to shows
Totally.
because they want to be in that.
Experiences.
They want the church.
Yeah.
They want to know, because people don't know how to speak, even worse than back in the day when we were taught to communicate more. People are, as you said, into their phones, and we know that conversation because we have had that conversation
That's why
for the last decade.
That's why you're going on tour this year, right?
Yes. Metric put together a wonderful tour. We're trying to get it everywhere. Live Nation is paying for it, so we've got like big people behind us.
The big money, the big cash.
We don't have the big money, but they're taking a risk, which they don't need to do.
Oh, okay.
Because they can go and
do Taylor Swift. 10
yes,
times
and Foo Fighters and all that
whatever,
stuff.
yeah.
But we have friends in that company, definitely. And Metric put it together.
Well, sold out in Los Angeles, San Francisco, I think, and
guess,
New York, right?
I'm a passenger in this, and I just want to be a passenger. I'm so grateful Jimmy and Emily did it, and stars are coming out, and we're coming out. And I think it's bigger than the bands. It's for the people. And, there's a lot of stuff that's full of shit about marketing and the aspects of, but there is, where you're trying to create some sort of, but the music isn't. The music is truthful. And I think the intention of why we're doing this is great. Metric's made an amazing record. They've got this new record coming out.
Yeah.
I hope Les joins us. I hope she just jumps up for a few shows, because whenever she comes, man, when Feisty's on stage, the spirit and the people, it just goes through the roof. So I'm going to try my best to convince her to come out for some shows. And we got stars who have just been constantly putting out incredible records. And they're going to open the show, which is tough when it's a 3-band bill. But obviously people come early, skip dinner, just party. No.
How was the making of the set list? How hard was it?
I don't know. We haven't started.
Oh,
this comes in June. Yeah, we start in June.
Yeah.
Rehearsal. What?
You're not doing rehearsals.
No, we are, but I think we're doing like 5. And, no, what's really interesting is when you have new music, you have a new feeling, I'm going to go to work today. And I did one rehearsal with Justin, our drummer, but the guys fortunately got together and figured, the lead singer and the drummer are like, figure it out, and then we'll come in. Wait, how does it go? But it was I forgot. It's like, oh, we have new music.
Oh, nice.
And we haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah. You just put out a song this year.
We did. We have a record coming out in May 8th, and I'm here to sort of promote that album, promote the doc, and to try to get back to Mexico, because Mexico City saved me. I've been saying this a lot today. In 2007, I came out here, and I wasn't in a good place. And it reminded me about people, it reminded me about celebration, and it reminded me about song. And I've been coming here ever since. We started the label Arts and Crafts Producciones out here, or Produccione Arts and Crafts.
Yeah.
Why first? And all I can say to you, and just in the climate of right now, and I'm going to say this straight to the core, and I've been repeating myself throughout these interviews I've been doing, is that I love this city. I love the people in this city. I love the way that you love music in this city. I love Mexican people. I love Mexican people all over the world. There's a kindness to you. There's a compassion to you. There's a romance to you. And there's just a way that you want to help. And it's embedded in you. And it's something I have never taken for granted. And I know a lot of people don't take it for granted. And I want you guys to know that this country, let alone Mexico City, but it is loved all over the world because of the people that are in this country. So do not forget that within all the noise that's happening in America and all these things, there's no one like you. And I've been to a lot of places. You have a kindness inside your hearts. And it's why I want to come here and I want to play here. And I want my career to get myself in a room with all of you so we can celebrate together. Because you taught me how to celebrate again when I thought it might be my final. I'm going to get emotional.
Oh, wow.
My final celebrations. You woke me up, and I will always be indebted to you for that.
Well, thank you very much. I feel like, I don't know if I can talk for the Mexican people, but thank you very much for those words. I find it the same way, I think.
Yeah.
I don't see. I've been. I don't know if I've been all over the world, but
well, when I say that, I mean it like I haven't been all over the world, but I really wanted to make a grand statement.
But yeah, I feel like people are different, maybe less open. But I don't know if it's contextual. I don't know if it's historic, or what is it about Mexican people that makes us kind. I don't see myself as kind, but I try to be. So yeah, thank you very much for those words.
It is in your history and in your blood.
Thank you very much. I don't know how. I don't know if I don't know how to continue after those emotional words. To be honest, because I wanted to ask you about the revival of indie sleaze and all
What's
the,
that? Indie sleaze?
Indie
Like,
sleaze is a word that's been coined for all the bands that were born like in the early
got it.
2000s.
of course.
Like,
Yes, there's that guy's on social. There's an indie sleaze like social media. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, life's about memory muscle. Songs bring you. What do songs do? Songs bring you back to a place,
yeah,
and usually they bring you back to a place where you're not at anymore.
yeah.
And I think this resurgence of all these bands from the 2000s, early 2000s, the aughts, as I learned a couple of years ago, I think it's about memory muscle and how people felt in that time. And that, for me, is what music is all about.
Do you have that kind of songs with Broken Social Scene? That kind of song, like maybe
Yeah.
transports you to another place in time when you play it or when you hear it? I
Yeah.
don't know. Do you hear your songs, or you like?
Do I
Broken
listen
Social
to my
Scene?
songs?
Do you listen to?
Well, the great thing about Broken Social Scene is you're not listening to yourself. You're listening to so many others. So definitely with this new record, I had to spend a lot of time with it because I was working with the producer and Charles Spearin on the last part of just trying to put it all together, and just to be back with David Neufeld, who produced our second and third record, who kind of put us on the map with once again a chemistry, a sound that worked. It's yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm not on some of these songs to a certain degree, and that's the best because you appreciate your bandmates, and you appreciate. We're not precious right now. We're alive. There's a lot of people who aren't, and unfortunately, in our band, people are still alive, and what that does is that just, I think, creates a bigger appreciation to what you're listening to when you're listening to a body of work.
So you're more in the present moment, right?
Yeah, I think you got to go to the past to help yourself in the present. I'm not one of those people who's like, don't look back. It's like, no. Look back, because then you'll see you're repeating yourself, and you'll see how this world is repeating yourself, and you'll see how we're stuck in a fucking loop. Excuse my language if I'm not supposed to swear. And then you learn from that.
Yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere if you say, don't look back. That's an insecure poet's statement. You need to learn. You need to educate from memory.
Did you listen to the Broken Social records from the past in order to make or songwrite this new record? Was there inspiration in the past, like you said, like looking in the past?
I think because we play so many shows, no, but we play these songs.
Yeah.
So I'm still intrigued how these songs don't bore me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I play them and I never think, what are we doing? How can I still be? What am I doing at this age? You know, I'm in my 50th year this year, and I don't get bothered by playing songs from when I was, 26, 27, and I think they just stay fresh. When you go back and listen to records, sometimes it's quite bizarre. And I know Charles from the band, Charles Spearin, he did a deep dive because he was really focused on the mastering process with Emily Lazar, the great Emily. Shout out if I die and somebody archives this. Emily, I love you. Yeah, I think just going back with David Neufeld, we were listening to the songs again through the new work. I don't know how to explain that, but it's just so great to be in his mind, because his mind is what is a massive memory for me. The way that he likes to produce music and get the take and find the tracks and argue about what he thinks is the best thing. And I kind of appreciated and loved every moment of it.
Do you feel like there's broken social scene song, like in this tour that you're gonna go on with Metric and Stars, do you feel like there are songs that you owe to the audience in order for it to feel like a broken social scene concert? Like which ones?
Like Anthems for a 17-year-old girl. The whole reason I said I'll do the tour is if, if Emily came and said yes, because we don't do it with Emily.
Yeah.
And when they mentioned this, I went, okay, I'll do it, but just come and sing this song. So hopefully she does. Hopefully
there are going to be a lot of recordings on YouTube of that song.
Jimmy,
live.
yeah, because that was written with Jimmy and her in the basement. And that song recently, just with the film, I saw the TV glow and the trans community online.
With Jewel, the cover. Yeah,
they just gave us so much life. We're so indebted to that community and that film and those artists. And Maggie Rogers and Sylvia Nesso did a cover of it. So this song suddenly, just in the last couple of years, gained so much traction for us.
Totally.
And, that's a wonderful thing. So I know that out of all the tunes, we cannot not play that song. And it's nice to have a song, actually. We're not a singles band. We're not a radio band. So they're getting back to what, consisted with just we never quite fit in that radio.
Yeah, but that song specifically, I think with all the Indies Least revival, it's kind of has a place in, I don't know if you want to call it pantheon of songs that will be remembered throughout the years because of that, in that period of time, in that period of creation.
I love it. I do. I mean,
what can you remember about writing that song? You said like you were writing in the basement.
Yeah, I remember leaving the room.
Oh, wow.
Because Brendan tells the story. I said, this sounds like a bar band. And then
bar band?
They put it together while I was upstairs. And then I came down. And this when you say, do you remember? I don't. This is Brendan giving me this memory. And of course now, when things change, this is the unfortunate part, is where people's memories start remembering things. Because I'm sure if you asked Emily and Jimmy, they remember. And then Brendan's like, well, I remember. So I just sort of say, hey, glad I'm on it. Had a great time making it. It has that sound. I know Noof and Charlie and I really got into the studio aspect of it, and manipulating the vocals became such a huge part with Charlie. I was playing a Qtron pedal. He was on the harmonist. And then bringing in Jessica Moss to do the violin. It's just everyone has a part of it. You could say, oh, this person or that, but that's the thing about Social Scene. If it actually works and you hear the tune, that particular recording, definitely a magical thing. So I'm just happy I was able to be a part of it.
Can't wait to hear it live.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Can't wait to hear it live, and can't wait to hear it live here in Mexico. I hope that you guys.
We got to get here. This is my mission on coming here and talking to everyone. Is want to spend more time here. Want to bring Social Scene here more.
Please.
Want to play the festivals, but also want to play the small gigs. Want to just try to build the community again, because, again, my love for this place. And
thank you very much. And that's going to be it for us.
Great.
Thank you for the music throughout all the years. Thank you for, I don't know, presenting yourselves before the documentary. It's going to be on Saturday.
Where?
Saturday in Casa del Lago.
People say it's beautiful there.
Lake House in the... Well,
hey man, I love House of Lake. Sounds like a pub.
Well, we're gonna see you there.
Yeah, please come.
Don't miss the documentary. No se pierdan el documental de Broken Social Scene. Con ustedes aquí Kevin Drew, uno de los fundadores de la agrupación, y también se va a presentar ahí en la Casa del Lago este sábado. Vamos con musiquita y regresamos aquí con más Día de Perros.